Hi, how are you? Today I am reviewing Canon EOS Rebel T7 EOS 2000D review. 2-minute review. Features. The only major difference between the EOS Rebel T7 EOS 2000D and the EOS Rebel T6 EOS 1300D is the sensor. Out goes the now very old 18MP sensor in favor of a newer 24.1MP chip. Although it's not the latest generation chip that's impressed in the likes of the EOS Rebel T7i, EOS 800D, but an older variant that we saw in the EOS Rebel T6i, EOS 750D. Wi-Fi and NFC connectivity are present, but there's no Bluetooth Low Energy option, as in the likes of the EOS Rebel T7i, EOS 800D. Canon EOS Rebel T7, design. Like the T6, the new EOS Rebel T7 is one of the smaller DSLRs on the market. It weighs 1.75 pounds, with the battery and SD card, and measures 5.1 by 3.9 by 3.1 inches. The grip is wrapped in textured rubber for a solid and comfortable handhold. The T7's body is otherwise mostly plastic, but the modest build quality is not surprising given the camera's price. Although the on/off switch and 4-way controller keys are stiff, buttons and dials are well marked. External controls provide one-touch access to the most important shooting parameters, such as ISO, white balance, focus and drive modes. Canon EOS Rebel T7, image quality. Canon's EOS Rebel series has long been a favorite of those who want an affordable but capable DSLR. The T7 continues to deliver good image quality for a camera in its class. Under well-lit conditions, the camera consistently produced pleasing results, almost guaranteeing success straight out of the box. The T7 continues to deliver good image quality for a camera in its class. Colors were bright and well saturated, even with the auto and standard picture styles. The colorful kites, umbrella and bathing suits in the sunny beach scene below also show how perfectly the T7 captured the shades of sand, as well as the ocean and sky. Canon EOS Rebel T7, low light performance. The T7 handled high ISO settings more competently than expected with high ISO and long exposure noise reduction turned off. You'll have to go into the setup menu and select custom functions to access these settings. Noise was well under control, and details were generally kept intact up to ISO 6400, as you can see from the sample images below. Extend the ISO to high, 12800, and image noise and softening become much more noticeable, although photos shot at this ISO should look fine if kept small for online sharing. Canon EOS Rebel T7, performance. Both continuous shooting and autofocus speeds are good enough for most shooting conditions. At up to 3 frames per second, you won't be freezing a high-speed car race or hockey players, but I was able to capture a kiteboarder in action as he splashed down on the wave. The T7's battery life isn't bad, at 600 shots per charge. But that's assuming you use the viewfinder instead of live view, otherwise, battery life can drop to between 250 and 260 shots. Flash, playback and Wi-Fi usage will also shorten battery life. Canon EOS Rebel T7, video. While 4K may be the rage on many DSLRs and mirrorless cameras, the T7 sticks with the basics of Full HD, 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames per second, HD, 1280 by 720 at 60 fps, and SD, 640 by 480 at 30 fps. Movies are recorded in MPEG-4 AVCH264, which delivers MOV files so the T7's video can be shared easily. And, like JPEG still images, MOV files can be edited using any movie software program. You can also make a couple of basic edits, like trimming, in playback mode as long as the battery is more than halfway full. Canon EOS Rebel T7, Wi-Fi, NFC. If you download Canon's Camera Connect app for iOS and Android, you can transfer images from the camera to your mobile device. You can also use the app to shoot remotely with the T7, and although you can't change all the settings, you do have the option to adjust parameters such as ISO, exposure compensation and white balance. Autofocus. While it is possible to use this phase detection system when images are composed on the screen, it's a clunky process as the live view feed has to be interrupted while the mirror moves over the imaging sensor. Consequently, the 2000D is more likely to be used with this contrast detection autofocus system. This draws information from the imaging sensor and allows a continuous live view. This is the only method of autofocusing available in video mode. Battery life. Canon states that in CIPA testing the EOS 2000D's battery enables 500 images or 1.5 hours of HD video to be recorded with a single charge. That compares reasonably well with a mirrorless camera, but it's not especially good for an SLR. Canon EOS Rebel T7, verdict. The combination of price, features and image quality make the Canon EOS Rebel T7 a solid option for both DSLR newcomers and more experienced users on a budget. Although it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of some of the more expensive models, like a touchscreen and an articulated LCD, the T7 offers basic and advanced features, so you can choose between easy operation or control over your picture taking. On the other hand, the Canon EOS D7 offers Wi-Fi, NFC and Bluetooth, whereas the Nikon D3400 uses a slower, Bluetooth connection. And Canon's Camera Connect app is much easier to use and more sophisticated than the Nikon D3400 Snap Bridge app. If you plan to regularly transfer images from your camera to your mobile device, the Canon T7 has a definite edge. Either way, you'll end up with an affordable, capable camera. So I highly recommend getting the Canon EOS Rebel T7, EOS 2000D review. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe my RS product review channel. Thank you.